Hi friends and subscribers, this is Mahmoud Sheikh, and from past few videos I have been working on developing a lectures management system using PHP CodeIgniter AJAX and jQuery. In my last video I completed the functionality of displaying all the posts of logged in users inside this My Posts tab. Okay, and in this video I will discuss about editing this post. Okay, so this is what we will be going to discuss in this video. So before starting this video I would just want to tell you guys, if you guys have not subscribed to my channel, click on subscribe button, and if you guys like this video, and click on like button, and don't forget to share this video with your friends. Okay, so now let us start the functionality of developing editing the post. Okay, so now here you can see each and every post is having two links, edit and delete. So now if I want to edit this post, then I have to click on this edit, then pop-up menu gets appear where you can see it's displaying the post. Okay, and if I want to make any changes, then I can easily make those changes. However, how are you? Okay, and when I click on update post, you will see that changes immediately get reflected on that post. Okay, and the published date also gets changed. So now this is what we will be going to see in this video. Okay, so for that we need to first go to our editor. Okay, so here you can see we have to go to our post view, and till here I had covered in my last video where I had discussed about fetching all the posts of logged in user and displaying those posts on my post tab. Okay, so this is what I had written in my last video, and in this video you need to start after this div. Okay, and you have to start with a form, and to this form I have given an ID as update user post. Okay, so this update user post ID I will be using in my jQuery code when it comes to updating the post. Okay, so now here you can see this is my edit link. Okay, and to this edit link I have set the data target attribute as edit my post. Okay, so this is an ID of model which I have created here, edit my post. Okay, so when I assign this ID to this edit link, that means whenever user click on the edit link, this model gets popped up. Okay, so now I will just change the title here, edit post, edit post. Okay, so now when I click on this edit link, this model will get popped up because I have given the ID of this model in the edit link. So now let me just show you once again. I will refresh, and when I click on this edit, you will see the model gets popped up along with the data. Okay, close. So next is, here I have created a div with a class of model dialog, and then there is a model content and model header, inside which I have given a label to that model. Okay, and we have a close button, okay, with which we can easily close that model. So now if I want to close it, then I can close it with this close symbol. Okay, then model will get closed, and then immediately after that, this model header, I have started a model body, and inside that I have created a text area, and this text area I have just made it as hidden because I want to set the ID of that post in that text area. So yes, that's why I have set it as hidden, or display. I have set the display attribute as none, and then I have created another text area field to give it a name as post and ID as post. Okay, so inside this text area I will be displaying the post, so that whenever user click on this edit link, the data gets start appearing inside this text box. So to display this data I have created this text area. Okay, so now here you can see I have given an ID as post to this text area, and I have given an ID as post ID to this first text area. Okay, so now the details which I'm displaying inside this text area is coming from my jQuery code. Okay, so I will take you to that code after a few minutes. Okay, and then I have set the date and time. Okay, and then I'm passing this date and time along with the form post request in hidden format. Okay, so now here I have created an input element and I have set the type of the input element as hidden, and with this hidden field I'm passing the date and time information of this published post. Okay, and then I have a model footer, and inside this model footer I have created a close button and update post button. Okay, so now let me just come to my jQuery code. Okay, so here I have written the jQuery code, and inside that code I have used edit post as a class. Okay, edit post class. So now here you can see class equals to edit post. Okay, I have set a class to this edit link, and with that class I'm triggering an on click event in my jQuery code. So whenever user click on that edit link, I'm taking the ID of that particular post and I'm assigning that ID inside this post ID variable, and then I am making an AJAX post request with the help of this post ID. Okay, so I am sending this post ID along with this request to my user controller's edit post function. Okay, so now here you can see this is the edit post function which I have created inside my user controller, and when you go to user file you will see that function edit post, and inside this edit post I'm collecting the post ID which I'm sending from here as an AJAX post request. Okay, and whatever post ID I'm sending from this AJAX post request with to this URL, that post ID I'm collecting here inside this function, and with this post ID I'm getting the post from the database using this get my post function which I have created inside this user model. Okay, so here you can see I have created that get my post function, and to this function I have passed the post ID which I have received here. Okay, as you can see it's the same post ID I'm passing here, and this function will get the details of the post from the post table, and then it will return that specific row, and that row I'm collecting here inside this data, and I'm returning that data as a JSON format again to my post view here. Okay, if it finds data inside the table, then this success function will get executed inside which I'm collecting the data. Let me just show you that. Just comment these things, save it. Okay, so now I will refresh, and when I click on this you will see the data in JSON format is returned. Okay, so now this JSON format data I need to parse. Okay, I need to display this data inside the text boxes. Okay, so for displaying the JSON format data inside the text area I have to parse that JSON string, and for parsing it I have used parse JSON. Okay, and then to that I have passed the data which I am collecting from this controller, and then I'm getting only the post ID information and post information from that JSON data, and I'm passing the data to this post ID and post ID attributes which I have created in my form. Okay, so you can see post ID. Now this post ID I have created inside the text area which I have set as none. Okay, inside that I am passing the ID. Okay, and inside the text area, another text area, I am passing the post. Okay, so this is how I am fetching the details from the database and displaying those details inside the text area. Okay, so now we have completed the functionality of getting the data of the single post whenever user click on this edit link. Okay, so when I click on this edit link, now a dialog box or model gets popped up inside which I'm displaying the post. So now the functionality which is left is to update this post, whenever user wants to make any changes in this post, then user will write some information, additional information, okay, friend, okay. And when the user click on this update post, the data will get updated with the new data, okay. So that thing we need to discuss now. So for developing that feature, first we need to come to our post view again. So here you can see I had assigned an ID as update user post, and I had told you at the beginning of this video as well, when I was explaining this form, okay. So to this form I have assigned the ID, and this ID I am using in my jQuery code, okay. So here you can see I'm using that update user post, and also I have assigned an ID as update post to my update post button, okay. As you can clearly see here, to my update post button I have given an ID as update post, this update post ID and this update user post ID. Both of these IDs I am using in my jQuery code, okay. So whenever user click on the update post button, I am triggering an on click event with the help of that ID update post which I have created in my update post button, okay. And then I have created an object of my form, and here which is form data, and then I'm taking the ID of the post. I have stored that ID inside this post ID variable, and I have taken the post information and I have stored that post information in this post variable, and also I have taken the published date which I have sent as a hidden information, okay. All this data I am collecting in my jQuery code, okay. And here I'm checking if what if the user is trying to update the form without entering any text. What if the text area will be blank? In that case I will be displaying an error message to the user as please fill all the details, okay. Suppose if user has entered the details, and in that case an AJAX post request will be made to this user's controller's update user post function, okay. And to this function I am passing the post ID, post, published date details, okay. So from here the control will come to this user's controllers update user post function, and here I'm receiving those details which I'm sending from this AJAX post, which is post ID, post and published date. All these three details I'm receiving here inside my update user post function, and these three details I'm passing to my update user post function which I have created inside my user model, okay. So let me just take you to the user model where I have created this function update user post. As you can see here as well, I am receiving the post ID, post published date, and these details I am passing inside an array, and that array I am passing to my TBL post, okay. As you can see, data is passed and the table is TBL post, and I am updating the data based on the post ID because I am having the post ID with me, and with that post ID I can uniquely update the post, okay. So and I have updated the post and published date of that post, okay. So now again here control will come back here, and if the data successfully gets updated, then it will display you a message as post updated successfully. And if this message gets generated, so if the data updated successfully, then control will come again to this post view inside this success function where I will hide the model, okay, which you can see edit my post model which I have created here, okay. So the ID edit my post I have given to this model, and with this ID I'm hiding the model, okay. The moment when data successfully gets updated, and immediately after that I'm reloading the page as well, okay, so that new changes start reflecting on the web page. So this is everything about developing the functionality of updating the user's post, okay. So I hope you guys have understood whatever we have discussed in this video, okay. And this is everything about updating the user's post details. Okay, and I will see you guys in my next video, where I will be discussing about developing the functionality of deleting the post. Okay, and thanks for watching.